Here's Jack Veazey as he comes through the middle complex now, trying to set up for the final few corners. What sort of lap can he manage?
Well, he's 6th in the championship. He sees some very interesting drivers in and around. It should be the 57 for Dan Skinner on his number. He's 5th fastest, and I would say he is a draft track specialist. He got a podium at Monza. You've got the likes of Joel Singleton, who's up there in the 36 car. He's going to make some headway. Lincoln Fox has gone 7th quickest at the moment, but Veazey is looking for his charge over towards the line. And I don't think that's the time he was hoping for. 46.4 is good out there. It's good enough for the 4th row. He was hoping maybe he could sneak up onto the 3rd row of the grid with that lap time. Couldn't quite find what he was hoping for. Has a great qualifying along with him on row 3 in 6th. Row 4 will have Jack Veazey and Lincoln Fox, with Dylan DaCosta in 9th, and he'll have the driver directly behind him in the championship alongside in Per Sandberg.
And you'd mentioned, as we move on to row 6 here, Michael Chase, who has managed a very stellar qualifying up into 11th
Tony
position.
Wallace couldn't get the times that they wanted to. Both of them inside the top 40 as things stand, and looking to improve on their points haul. It is downhill for a couple of drivers then on the start, which will give them a slight advantage to those who have to ride a little bit of a crest. Very similar out there to the likes of Interlagos. But lights on, 25 minutes at Phillip Island. Let's get ourselves going as we get ourselves off to racing. It's a very, very nice start off of the front by David Terron. He immediately gets the jump that he wants. Jason Cooper's got Nicholas Goebel for a little bit of company as they will run to the Doohan curve for the first time out here in this race, and they will now look to try and form the packs that prove to be so vital in this one as they rush on through single file as they go through the first 7, 8 drivers, bit of side by side as Lincoln Fox finds himself scrapping it out right now with Dylan DaCosta on the outside.
And now on the exit here of the Southern Loop, they're going to be heading back up the hill through Stoner Corner and into the Honda hairpin. This is where some overtaking opportunities can potentially open themselves up. And Nicholas Goebel challenging Jason Cooper right now. And into the lead is looking at Ade Koba. David Terron going to be trying to fight it back, but he is off the circuit. The inside line will turn back into his favor, but is he going to be alongside? Yes, he is. David Terron fending off the championship, but not enough. Ade Koba leads the race at the end of lap 1.
Gross, they're all in this group together. No real big breaks in the chain as they run through 11. Look at the chase then that goes along from DaCosta as he looks behind. That's Jack Veazey looking to try and find a way through. Joel Singleton finds himself there. The ever quiet presence of Dan Skinner finds himself then in position, and look out on the front stretch, all the way to the pit wall goes David Terron, looking for a move to the race lead, but watch out through the middle. There was almost a lane for Jason Cooper, and the front two block it off. The Spaniard going at it, Ade holding at Doohan.
Stellar driving there from Ade Koba, committing to the inside line throughout the entirety of that corner. David Terron really put the challenge on, and as we go through the Southern Loop, once again, Jack Veazey, he was making the looks ahead onto Dylan DaCosta, but right now it's looking like more of a defensive posture as Joel Singleton trying to find his opportunities. But again, heading down to Honda, this is where the opportunities open up.
Lorenz Den Alden has gone for a pirouette. He's climbed up the banking out there on track, but watch out! Jack Veazey almost taking a tap as he goes through, and there's a spin for Skinner, who will drop down the field, and he will hope that Superintendent Chalmers will be able to help him back through. He has to wait for the whole field to cycle.
And on to the start finish straight. There's contact in a straight line, and that's going to be David Terron getting punted from Ade Koba. No, the other way around, and that's going to cause chaos here, 3 wide into the first few corners.
They were trying to get the bump draft sorted. They couldn't get out of the way of Ade Koba in time. Koba with lightning reflexes, like a cobra, was able to get himself sorted. Dylan DaCosta now searching down the inside for a position. Off the road in the background will go Per Sandberg. He'll drop onto Lincoln Fox. He'll drop 2 as he goes through, as Ewan Bremer will find himself a way through. Drama at the highest level of sim racing.
Excellent save, but a very dicey one at that. Now down in the 3rd position, trying to recover.
Well, he'll now try and run the gauntlet. He's got Jack Veazey, the 6 car for company out there at the moment. It is a who's who at the front of this field as they chase. It's a 12-car challenge with Palahi in this group. And watch out for this Serpentine. This might not be a case of where do you want to be, but when. Brakes have to be hit there as Cobra absolutely swarms his way back to the front. You can't keep him down for long.
No, a 2-for-1 special he managed to find there, and David Terron is going to be side by side with Nicholas Goebel, and they are not going to be letting each other go without a fight. Nicholas Goebel continuing that second position trend, and you can see the likes of Jack Veazey posturing himself there to not allow David Terron in. He's trying to box him out right now and find himself up into 4th.
Well, if they battle like this for too long, they'll allow Cobra away. They've got lap traffic in front who've had to take the fast repair. That is Den Ouden and Sebastian, the 2 Dutchmen that they'll have to get through. But crucially, a bit of respite. Too wide, too deep at Siberia. Veazey, tap, around he goes. Somehow DaCosta avoids it. Carnage now falls behind. Lincoln Fox has his front demolished as he goes through. Somehow Ewan Bremer's avoided all of it, and Joel Singleton had to go off the road in avoidance, and the group explodes.
Sorry. I think that was my fault though.
Absolutely. Charles Kellyman looking around as he sees there's Edward Gross just in front of him. Veazey, the car behind, who's now going to have to try and run through this group, led by Kavisto here, who had gained quite a few positions out there. And the way it's worked, they've got 3 seconds to Ewan Bremer, and this group right now around the top 10 is getting dicey. You've got Jack Veazey, Dylan DaCosta, Miles Owens, as we said, who's dropped a couple places now. Edward Gross is there, Cali Kavisto, Charles Kellyman, Sandavara, all there, all looking at how many places they can gain. You've got Ronald Moans, the biggest gainer now. He's up 14 from 31st to 17th. Down the hill they go, and Veazey now is desperate to lead that charge. 3 seconds if he can catch Albert Palahi, and he was 4/10 quicker that last lap by.
Yeah, and with Jason Cooper, by the way, I just wanted to touch on this for a moment, is he's currently sitting in 3rd position in the standings overall, and in terms 31 points off the ball. This is going to be actually, though, hold that thought, as Smith here trying to make a move. He's not going to be able to find it right now. Checking back, though, with Dylan DaCosta, he's currently side by side with the number 16 here, battling it out for 11th. That's going to be Owens behind right now, trying to find his position, and up ahead of them is going to be Jack Veazey. But yeah, what is a little racing without some rubbing in these MX5s? They can take a little bit of contact here and there. In fact, they can take, honestly, quite a bit, to be honest. That's one of the beauties of these cars, is you kind of just turn them in the right direction, punch the throttle, and they go exactly where you want them to go. And these drivers as well, not to mention the fact that these are some of the absolute best drivers in the world, and they're putting it on display for us tonight as we go again, side by side, down into the first corner.
We'll finish off in 7th with Jack Veazey 8th. Dylan DaCosta will finish 9th, and the top 10 rounded out by Albert Palahi.
And over on to the second row to 11th position, Miles Owens.